That's it. This whole article, Mastering Your Emotions and Instincts for a Successful Trader, gave us absolutely nothing to work with. This is The Profit Factor, a podcast where we explore topics around edge, process, and mindset to help traders become consistently profitable. Today, we're going to talk about mindset. I love talking about mindset. One of my favorite topics in trading and with traders is to talk about mindset. Today, we're not going to talk about maybe the normal stuff with mindset. I just want to lay out why you might be struggling with changing your mindset. Even though maybe you've invested in all the books, maybe you've even done a course on mindset, maybe you've watched a ton of videos, you've read every article, you've asked your mentor, whatever it is. A lot of us as traders have spent so much time digging into the mindset component of trading, and yet find ourselves where we're not making any progress at all, or it seems like we're not making any progress at all. And I want to explain why that is actually the case. So first of all, let's just talk about what mindset is. What exactly is trading mindset, trading psychology? And if you do it, just do an internet search like trading psychology, and you're going to get all kinds of stuff. It's pretty much really how we deal with our emotions as we go about our trading day trying to execute our plan. That's kind of the general definition. And there's all kinds of other, more detailed kinds of definitions. One good one is from Investopedia. So if you go on their website, they have a really great article on trading psychology. Definition, examples, importance in investing. I love it. Trading psychology refers to the emotions and mental states that help dictate success or failure in trading securities. Trading psychology represents various aspects of an individual's character and behaviors that influence their trading actions. That's great. I love that. It's a good definition. It goes into really the fundamentals of what mindset is all about, which is what we think and how we feel. Those are the two big drivers for any actions that we take in life as well as in our trading. When you look for information about trading psychology, what do we find? Like, just do an internet search. There's all kinds of stuff out there. I've got a web page up right here, and I've got, something from Investopedia, a couple things from Investopedia. Trading Sim has Trading Psych, 11 traits that separate winners and losers. Britannica has Trading Psychology, how to develop a trader mindset. There's another one from Corporate Finance Institute. Amazon has books. There's the Upskill List blog, Trading Psychology, Inside the Mind of a Successful Trader. What are these all about? What are all this information, all this wealth of knowledge around trading mindset, and what are they telling us? What are we learning? Well, let's take a look at the Britannica example. It's not bad. Britannica Money, Trading Psychology, Mastering Your Emotions and Instincts for a Successful Trader. Now, you might be searching and be like, oh, this is exactly what I need. This is going to tell me, how do I actually master these emotions that I'm having? I know I'm having them. And so you think, okay, with that kind of title, it's got to be the answer, right? So you go through it and you look at it. Okay, managing emotions, the trader's inner struggle. Great. It gives me all of the things, the emotions that are common amongst traders. What are they? Fear of missing out, following the herd, impulsive trading, ignoring stop losses, chasing losses, jumping the gun on profit taking. There's also one big one, which is hesitation. So that one's not even on here. That's a big problem for a lot of traders. If you're an under trader, you have struggles to actually get into a trade. Then they have a section on understanding your trading psychology. And then now it gets really interesting. This is the part you came here for. You can change your trader DNA. well, what does this say? This is like the answer, right? This is it. Like, how do I change my trader DNA? And here's what they say. To build a healthy trading psychology, first, acknowledge any negative or counterproductive traits you may have, no matter how uncomfortable they may be. Once you've identified your key traits, positive and negative, be more mindful of them and notice when they're occurring. If you recognize that you're about to stubbornly dig in on a losing trade, you can catch yourself, cut your losses, and move on. Or if you sense you're taking a loss too personally, remind yourself that your personal worth is separate from your trading. The goal is not to eliminate your emotions, but to understand them. The more honest you are with yourself, the more in tune you'll become with your emotions, and the better you'll be able to minimize their negative effect on your trading. That's it. This whole article, Mastering Your Emotions and Instincts for a Successful Trader, gave us absolutely nothing to work with to actually do those things, to actually, when you're in the moment, when you're feeling that emotion, how do you recognize it? What does it mean to acknowledge your emotions or negative counterproductive traits or anything like that? You know, when you're sitting in the middle of a trade and you're just feeling all this anxiety, you may even recognize that you feel it. What skills have you learned to be able to, as it says, catch yourself, cut your losses, and move on? That is the right outcome. Those are the right things to do from an action perspective. But we're not talking about what actions we're taking. We're talking about the drivers of those actions, the emotions and the thoughts that we're having in that moment. This is why trading psychology is so hard to master. It's because the information and the education does not actually help us. It's not actually doing what we want it to do. It's helping us to understand all kinds of great things about trader psychology. You now know what are all the emotions that could affect you in your trading. That's great, right? Is that going to help you just to know what those are? 100% not. So I spent years struggling with this trading mindset challenge, and it's probably from a bunch of stuff from when I was a kid. I'm sure like some psychologists would say, yeah, you know, you had these issues as a kid and you just carried them with you. I kind of believe that, right? And I don't go back and look at my childhood and kind of analyze it, but I recognize that a lot of the beliefs I have and the things that I carry with me probably came from my childhood. And so as I started down this path of, I need to fix my mindset. I need a different mindset to be a trader. And I got all the books. Every book you can think of, I read it. I took a course from a well-known, trading psychologist, did all this kind of stuff. And all of those books, all of that knowledge from all of these experts was really good and interesting stuff to know. But it wasn't until I hired a coach, someone who was a specialist in mindset and how the mindset worked. And the beauty of this, which was so awesome, my coach didn't know a thing about trading. She knew nothing about traders and about the markets. But you know what she did know about? She knew about the mind and how the mind works. So what did I learn through this experience? Well, it wasn't about the normal trading psychology stuff, again, that we learn about all the time. I learned, how do I actually change the way that I think? How can I, in the moment of a trade where I'm considering hesitating, I'm talking myself out of that trade, even though it's part of my process, or I'm letting this loser go because I so badly want it to be a winner. I so badly want to be right about this trade. I learned, first of all, how to recognize, what am I thinking in those kinds of moments when we're in this emotional state that is taking over. And I talk a little bit about this with people I work with. There's two parts of our brain. There's system 1 and system 2. And this all comes from Daniel Kahneman's great work called Thinking Fast and Slow. And system 1 is the part of our brain that really runs on autopilot. It's super efficient. allows us to make quick decisions. It allows us to drive anywhere without really thinking too much about the process of driving. We've done it 1,000 times. And so our system one brain kicks in. It also kicks in when we're experiencing really strong emotional things. It's very reactive, and you have to short circuit that reaction that's happening with system one. And I learned how to do that with a coach. I learned how to, even in a very strong emotional state, stop for a minute, recognize, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What was most valuable to me, though, was not just the recognition part and learning how to become more aware, but then learning, how do I actually change the way that I think? How do I change beliefs that I've held since I was probably 5 years old about money and about myself and about how the world operates that are affecting my trading? How do I change those things? How do I go from where I'm at today in my belief system and in the way that I think and how I process my emotions to all of these things and all of this stuff that's on the internet, this great stuff that tells you, well, this is the way that you ought to think, and this is the emotional state you need to be in. How do I go from where I'm at today to there? Because that's where I want to be. We don't learn these skills when we go into school. Nobody teaches them. I never learned them in high school. I never learned them in college. I never learned these skills until I worked with a coach. And I learned that our brains can be changed. Our minds can be changed. Our beliefs can be changed. But we simply don't all have the skills to do it. We don't know. We don't know what it takes to actually change those things. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. There's actually a scientific word for this. We have the ability. We just don't have the education. So if you're sitting here and you're struggling the way that I have struggled for so long about how do I actually change the way I think, I'm reading all of these books. I'm absorbing everything. I'm working so hard to not be a trader that experiences FOMO or letting my stops run or all these other things. But I don't know how to fix what is going on inside my brain. You're not alone. That's what we're all experiencing. We're all struggling with. And the education just isn't there. It's just part of where we're at today. So I want to offer something for you to do. It's just the first step. It's just a baby step in this whole process around mindset. It's called a thought download. And what it's designed to do is to help you become more consciously aware of your thoughts. Our thoughts come to us because our system one brain is just always working. Your thoughts that are coming to you are always optional. If you can remember one thing out of this podcast, remember your thoughts are optional. You don't have to believe every thought that comes into your brain. So what we want to do is we want to recognize, well, what are the thoughts coming into our brain before we can even think about changing what we think, which is going to down the line affect our trading. I need to understand, what is it that I'm thinking? And so every morning before you trade, spend about 5 or 10 minutes and write out all your thoughts. This is not journaling. You're not writing a story of your day or your morning. That's not what this is about. This is a bulleted list of, this thought came into my head. I'm thinking this. I'm thinking this. I'm not good enough. I'm not going to succeed today. I'm a lousy trader. My dog hates me. Whatever it is, whatever thoughts come in your brain without any judgment, no filters, just write them down. Just get them out. And later you can go through the list and you're probably going to laugh at some of the thoughts that come up and think, holy cow, no, first of all, no wonder I'm screwed up so bad. I do that all the time. I look at my thoughts. I'm like, well, that's why I'm feeling so crappy for sure. And you're going to have this understanding that all of these thoughts that come in, they're just thoughts, and you don't have to believe any of them. You don't have to do anything with any of them. And as you do this more and more, you can do it in the morning, maybe you do it at the end of your trading day, you're going to realize first, you have a lot of thoughts coming in. Second, you're going to become more aware over time as they're coming in. You're not going to need to do the thought downloads as much, although it's super helpful. But because you're going to be in a moment, you're going to be like, oh, this is my thought. And this thought is the reason that I'm feeling this way right now. So if you could just do that, if you could just do a daily practice of thought downloads every single day, your awareness of what you're thinking is going to bloom. And that is the first step to changing your trading mindset. All right, that's what I got for you today. Go out there, have a great week, guys. Happy trading. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Check out my YouTube channel at The Profit Factor on YouTube. But if you really want to amp up your trading game, take a look at my Consistency Accelerator program. This is a program that was designed to systematically help you become consistently profitable. It includes coaching and course material around edge, process, and even mindset. Check it out at www.gettheprofitfactor.com.